What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 795 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo to get your week started off on the right foot, to get it started off on the left foot, and to get it started off walking straight down the road to victory as the Philadelphia Eagles once again come away victorious, this time on Sunday Night Football for the world to see, and put on one of the best defensive masterclasses we have seen from this team in quite some time, beating the Detroit Lions 16-9 at Lincoln Financial Field. We're going to dive into everything with it. We're going to dive into the offense continuing to be an issue, why it's an issue, because a lot of people still think it's just an A.J. Brown problem, when A.J. Brown is actually voicing the issues with the offense. We'll talk about Jeffrey Lurie and A.J. Brown's alleged meeting that occurred. We will also go around the NFL because it was a weird week in the NFL this week, I feel like. Not a lot of, crazy things, but some weird wins, some weird losses, a lot of bye weeks. But we'll dive into all of that. We have an interview on this episode from Philadelphia Wings Media Day. We will have a sit-down with myself and Philadelphia Wings superstar, number one overall pick, BrennanONeill, as well as Dalton Young, one of the hot young lacrosse superstars in the making, both in the field and box games, but both of those guys in a fun little sit-down together. Definitely want you guys to tune in for that one because it was a great conversation. Brennan is one of the most talented athletes, and the fact that we get to claim him for half of the lacrosse year as a Philadelphia athlete is pretty damn special. So we'll have that interview after some Eagles chatter. Kelly Oubre Jr. injured, going to miss Monday's game. We'll talk about the implications of that, what that could look like for the Sixers rotation off the bench, starters and everything. And then it's Philadelphia Union playoff week, everybody. Hear ye, the Yoffs are here. So we'll dive into that as well. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. Please, please, please follow us. We're so close to 4K on Twitter. We're so close to 2K on Instagram. Follow us on the socials at Underground PHI. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow. It helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia and our entire catalog of podcasts. It means the world when you guys subscribe and listen and download on audio. So keep subscribing wherever you get your podcasts. And then, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. We're at 1,147 subscribers. Can we get to 1,200 before Thanksgiving? I think it's possible. 53 more subs before Thanksgiving is what we need. Subscribe. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. And click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And guys, of course, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And the Garden State Comic Fest came to the city of Vineland this past weekend. I saw all the photos and pictures of everything from the new Vineland Convention Center. Melissa Joan Hart was in town. Kevin Clash, the voice of Elmo. Baby Sinclair and Splinter. Plus so many more people. not only on the celebrity status level, but local people that I know, local people that listen to this show. It was a really awesome way to have a grand opening event at the New Vineland Convention Center. We're going to be trying to do stuff at the New Vineland Convention Center in conjunction with our partnership with the city of Vineland. So definitely looking forward to going and checking that out and seeing it up close and personal as the Vineland Convention Center. I've seen it as older, as different, establishments there, but now as the New Vineland Convention Center, I'm very pumped. So definitely go check out all the photos and videos that were posted from the Garden State Comic Fest, from the city of Vineland, from Main Street Vineland, and so much more. But shout out to the city of Vineland for putting on such an incredible event. Shout out to the Garden State Comic Fest and everybody that was able to attend, everybody that was vending, everybody that was there. It looked like an awesome event this weekend. So kudos to everybody there. And hopefully you have more events like that here in the city of Vineland, because in Vineland, New Jersey, it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
Hello, I'm Mayor Anthony Fanucci. Vineland, New Jersey offers both a great business location and an outstanding quality of life. But don't just take my word for it, the experts agree. We're proud to be recognized as a premier food processing and logistics hub, one of New Jersey's most affordable and desirable cities, and one of the best places to retire in the country. Visit vinelandcity.org and see how our resources can work for you. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Eagles everywhere, how we doing? The Philadelphia Eagles find a way to win once again in prime time against an NFC North opponent. The Eagles-Bears alliance, full-fledged, went without a cinch as we prepare for that matchup on Black Friday in 2 weeks. But nonetheless, the Eagles take down the Detroit Lions 16-9. And our Eagles breakdown here is brought to you by our good pals at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia, the official Victory Monday drink of choice for Philadelphia Eagles fans everywhere. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Pittsburgh areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores, convenience stores, grocery stores in those markets. Just use the Kenny Finder to see who's got it available. Again, kenwoodbeer.com. Use that Kenny Finder. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please celebrate and drink responsibly. Another Victory Monday here in a city of brotherly love as the Philadelphia Eagles take care of business and they take down the Detroit Lions at Lincoln Financial Field by a final score of 16-9. It was not a pretty offensive game whatsoever from either team. There was a lot of meat left on the bones, and I will say I saw good friend of the program, hopefully sooner rather than later, but follower of the program, X, you all know her, Flyers Twitter, all know her, Eagles Twitter, Philly Sports Twitter, saying the win definitely affected the quarterbacks more than it affected the kickers. And that's for damn sure. Jalen Hurts, 14 of 28, 135 yards passing. Jared Goff, 14 of 37, 255 yards passing. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The kickers, outside of a missed extra point from the Lions kicker, were pretty spot on and good to go. The defense we're going to start with the defense for the Philadelphia Eagles, because this was a defensive masterclass from the pressures that they were getting on Jared Goff, forcing him to throw way sooner than he wanted to. The first career regular season interception for Cooper DeJean, because guess what? Cooper DeJean is not a safety. He's just a corner that shut down your number one. Cooper DeJean just picked off Goff. Yeah, he did. He picked off Jared Goff for his first career regular season interception. Adoree Jackson, I know we've been critical of the boy. Adoree Jackson, since that first week disaster class against the Cowboys, has been very, very serviceable. He was awesome tonight, had a huge stop late in the game. Adoree Jackson put on one hell of a performance in this game. Flowers to the boy. He was great. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Jomo, the big boys up front doing the damn thing. The amount of batted down passes, the amount of just insane interior pressure that they were creating was spectacular. And it allowed guys like Zach Bond, it allowed guys like Nakobe Dean, it allowed guys like Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt to kind of get a little more loose. Jahad Campbell as well. But more specifically, Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean from the linebacker spot. And then off the edge, Jalen Phillips. First career sack as an Eagle at Lincoln Financial Field. He has been one of the best acquisitions Howie Roseman has made in the last 5 years. And we're 2 games into his Eagles tenure. And I'm full send confident in saying that. Jalen Phillips, his motor is unmatched. His speed off the edge is insane. And the way that he has helped transform this defense simply by being on the field. Simply by being on the field is nothing short of spectacular. That guy is incredible. He got one of the game balls, posted it on his Instagram story, along with a little caption included, "Go Birds DH." He was born to play in Philadelphia, man. He is awesome. As advertised, if not better than advertised. Jalen Phillips fits this team to a T. I tweeted it from the Underground account during the game to sign Jalen Phillips at the next commercial break. Extend him at the next commercial break because he is awesome. Both just from a vibes perspective and his play on the field is just spectacular. He had an awesome game. 2 tackles in this one, along with a sack. I mean, like, the dude is just, 5 tackles. 2 solo, 3 assisted. 1 sack. He was all over the field in this one. Just so good. And that all starts when that interior of the defensive line is able to create pressure and get Goff off his mark. You allow guys like Jalen Phillips, you allow guys like Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean to go and create havoc. Kind of like I said on the last episode that was going to be a key to this game. Andrew Makuba was awesome in this game. 4 tackles on his own. Cooper DeJean, like I said, the interception. Reed Blankenship was great in this one as well. Just a total team effort on defense. From start to finish, top to bottom, defensive line all the way up to the secondary. The defense was the highlight of this game. That is why Jordan Davis, Jalen Phillips, and I think Jalen Carter all got game balls. All got game balls after the game. It was a defensive masterclass. And, when you have a defensive masterclass like that, it affords you the opportunity, not that you ever want it to be that way, but it lets the offense kind of get away with a little bit. And the offense, while it was stinky, they did just enough to get by. Jalen Hurts had the rushing touchdown, which ended up being enough. I mean, it was all field goals and then a touchdown. And, Saquon had some runs that were decent, but with this offensive line being the core problem to why the Eagles' offense is struggling, Lane Johnson left this game with a foot injury. Cam Jurgens left the game early. There has been zero continuity on this offensive line since week one. Since week one, quite frankly. And I said it after, Mekhi Becton left to go to the Chargers. We talked about it on the show. Talked about it early in the season as well, if I'm not mistaken. Mekhi Becton leaving should not derail the offensive line's ability to run block as much as it has. I know Tyler Steen is a very different player, both just skill set wise and size wise alone, than Mekhi Becton. But that should not change how piss poor the interior run blocking is on this football team. And I get Landon Dickerson has not been healthy all year. Cam Jurgens has not been healthy all year. He left the game tonight, like I said. Lane Johnson leaving another game early is not ideal. Kudos to Jordan Mailata. He had his best game of the season by far. He's been very inconsistent this year, but tonight he put the clamps on Aiden Hutchinson anytime Hutch was on that left tackle side. Absolutely shut him down. What did Hutch end up with? What did Aiden Hutchinson end up with? Let's see. Aiden Hutchinson. I don't even see his name. Aiden Hutchinson, 3 total tackles and a half sack. 1 tackle, 2 assisted, and a half sack. That is impressive from Jordan Mailata, Fred Johnson, Lane Johnson. Setting that edge on the tackles, perspective side of things, and really shutting down one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Kudos to them. But, again, this goes all the way back to Kevin Patullo. Kevin Patullo he's not the only problem, but he is a major problem with this offense. There is no creativity. There is no, intricacies to the offense. There's nothing that gets your opponent off balance. It's the same stuff over and over and over again. It's using the sidelines in the passing game, trying to run the ball up the middle, and that be your usage of the middle of the field, and that's it. There's no inward cross cuts. There's no slants, in the middle of the field. There's no curl routes. There's nothing that, crossing routes. There's nothing that's creative in this offense. And when you don't get creative, it opens the door for defenses to just hone in on what you do. The Eagles, when they run the football with Saquon, more often than not, they're just running it up the gut. And he goes for 2 yards. Because guess what? The offensive line is not healthy. Tyler Steen is not Mekhi Becton. And you have nobody in terms of continuity on the offensive line that is playing on the same page. So that affects what Saquon is able to do, which in turn affects what the passing game is able to do, which is exactly what A.J. Brown has been complaining about. Does it all make sense now? Watching that game tonight, does it all make sense? Are we clear-headed from just A.J. talking on a Twitch stream? Does it all make sense that the offensive line has no continuity, but the play calling is acting as if there is continuity, which in turn does not allow the running game to do a goddamn thing, which then does not allow the passing game to be established because you're not establishing the run. And then you have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert and Jalen Hurts having the stat lines that they have and looking less than ideal even though they're winning football games. Is it all starting to clock to you all? Are you clocking it, as the TikTok kids are saying? Clock it? Are you clocking? Does it make sense now? Simply because there's no creativity in the offensive play calling. There's no scheming diversity. The offensive line gets exposed because they are injured. There's no continuity there, which then exposes Saquon Barkley because the offensive line has no continuity, has no gelling time because they're all injured, which then opens up the passing game being exposed because there's no creativity in the routes that you have your guys running because all you're doing is running up the sidelines and trying to just throw deep bombs every time. And then you get games like this. You get games like Green Bay. You get games like Dallas week 1. You get games that look like the Chiefs game to a degree. You get games that look like the Broncos, the first game against the Giants. That's what happens when there's no offensive scheming and play calling creativity. It all trickles down. And that is exactly what A.J. Brown is trying to voice. Now, I know he had a meeting with Jeffrey Lurie this week set up by Big Dom, and there was alleged agreement that A.J. would no longer voice his frustrations to the media. They hugged it out and everything. But again, I'm here to tell you guys, A.J. Brown is not wrong. He's recognizing an issue with this offense, not saying it's the same, because in 2023, A.J. was getting his, Devontae was getting his, but there was still no creativity in 2023, and look what happened. AJ's trying to get out in front of it and saying, hey, we can only do this for so long before it bites us in the ass. And he's exactly right. You can only play games like this, like you have against Green Bay and Detroit back-to-back weeks, like you did against the Chiefs and Cowboys in the first 2 weeks of the season, like you did against the Broncos when it did bite you in the ass, like you did against the Giants on Thursday Night Football when it did bite you in the ass, until it really bites you in the ass. The Eagles are in a prime spot right now in the NFC after tonight. They have tiebreakers over the Rams, the Buccaneers, the Vikings, for whatever you want to take that for, the Packers, and the Lions. 5 NFC head-to-head tiebreakers, plus you have a game in hand over the Cowboys. Those are pretty much, when you take a look at the NFC standings, they still have to play the Bears on Black Friday, so that's going to be another huge game if they can win that one. But other than like the Seahawks and 49ers, because you don't play them, the Eagles have collected every major NFC tiebreaker like Thanos collecting Infinity Stones. But you can only get away with playing like this for so long before we're sitting here in late December, in January, in the playoffs, and we're pulling our hair out, fighting tooth and nail in a playoff game, clamoring for consistent offense. And I hope people recognize that this is an issue even in a win. You can enjoy this win. I'm happy the Eagles won. Don't get that twisted whatsoever. I enjoyed watching the defense ball out and have 5, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 fourth down stops against this Lions offense. I watched Quinyon Mitchell shut down that bozo Amon-Ra St. Brown. And if you're like, KB, why is he a bozo? Just go Google what Amon-Ra St. Brown is all about, and you'll totally understand. They were able to shut down that offense that has been averaging over 30 points per game week in and week out and held them to 9 points. It was a defensive masterclass. Vic Fangio, they will teach defenses about this in the ancient scriptures of the NFL. But I need the offense to figure a lot of things out, and it starts with your play calling and coaching, recognizing that the offensive line is not what it was last year. You need to get more creative with Saquon Barkley. You need to get more creative with your route trees for your wide receivers. Otherwise, one of these games is going to bite us in the ass, and we are going to be lunatics about it. We need better offensive performances. They are fully capable of having better offensive performances. And we all know that. We watched what they did against the Vikings. We watched what they did against the Giants in late October. We watched what they did against the Rams to a degree. That's when the defense was not playing that well. We watched what they did against the Bucs. Sure, they've had special teams touchdowns in both of those two games that I just mentioned. But this offense is fully capable of putting up more than 26 combined points in a 2-week stretch. And yes, the Lions defense, this was a defense that you should have been able to carve up because of all the injuries they had. Nonetheless, a win is a win. A defensive masterclass deserves nothing more than a tip of the cap. And the tip of the cap, ladies and gentlemen, you know, is brought to you by our friends at 47. Guys, 47 is my headwear of choice. I'm rocking the Super Bowl champions 47 hitch rope hat right now. I just had this beautiful number come in today, actually. The classic Sixers script. I'm going to be wearing the hell out of this bad boy. I'm going to be wearing on Sunday next week, too. My Philadelphia Union 47 hat. I've got my Eagles Carhartt collection hat right here. I told you guys, down here in the studio, on my desk and all around me, I have 47 hats everywhere because they are my headwear brand of choice. I love 47. You guys can shop with 47. Rep your favorite sports teams, whether it's the Birds, the Sixers, the Phillies, the Flyers, the Union now. Your favorite college sports teams, favorite minor league teams, WNBA, and more. Use our link in the description to shop with 47. And when you join the 47 family, and when you join the 47 family, and when you join the 47 family, you get early access to their Cyber Week sales and free shipping on all orders. So don't miss out. Get that early access to Cyber Week. It's right around the corner, guys. Get that early access and free shipping on all orders when you shop with our link and shop with 47. And we thank 47 for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Tip of the cap goes to the defense. The defense put on an absolute masterclass performance. One of the best defensive performances we have seen in this era of Eagles football, in my opinion. Obviously, the Super Bowl was belt to ass. NFC Championship game was belt to ass. But to hold a team that has that prolific of an offense to 9 points is pretty fucking special. And to be able to have composure and get the stops that they got, it wasn't even just holding them to 9 points. It was the multiple fourth down. So like I said, 5 fourth down. The Lions were 0 for 5 on fourth down when they went for it. To hold a team 0 for 5 on fourth down, there was multiple 4th and 1s in there. It was just unbelievable to watch because you knew almost every single timeout, no matter where the Lions were lined up, no matter where the ball was on the field, you just had belief in this team that they were going to get the job done and they were going to be able to stop the Lions. They had no answers. They were forcing Jared Goff to throw earlier than he wanted to, which was a huge part of the winning formula in this game. Jared Goff could never get comfortable in the pocket. The defense wouldn't allow it. Quinyon Mitchell put on an absolute clamp session on Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think ESPN Next Gen Stats put out a tweet that we retweeted on the Underground account. Let me find it here. Yeah. Quinyon Mitchell did not allow a reception on any of his 6 targets, tied for the most targets without allowing a reception in a game over the last 2 seasons. Mitchell has allowed a 41.9% completion percentage this season, the lowest by any player since 2018 with a minimum of 50 targets. The other top 5 players, A.J. Terrell in 2021, 42.6. 2022, James Bradbury with the Philadelphia Eagles, 42.7%. Charvarius Ward in 2019 for the Chiefs at 43.5%. And Joey Porter Jr. in 2023 at 44.1%. Mitchell did not allow a reception on 6 targets in Week 11, tying the most targets without allowing a reception by any defender since the start of 2024. He's the truth, guys. Quinyon Mitchell is that dude. Cooper DeJean gets the interception. Jalen Phillips was unbelievable. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis were a SWAT team. Just batting every single ball that came their way down. Reed Blankenship was great in the tackling that he was, involved in. Makuba had some big hits. Zach Bond was getting pressure simply because there's pressure off the edge now with Jalen Phillips. Nakobe Dean in coverage was great. He had a great route that he ran alongside Jahmyr Gibbs. Absolute hustle play from Nakobe Dean, just step for step going with Jahmyr Gibbs, one of the fastest players in the NFL. And Nakobe Dean hawked him down. Didn't allow the catch. A brilliant defensive performance by this team. It was unbelievable. And man, this is back-to-back weeks now that they've held opponents under 10 points. They held the Packers to 7, Lions to 9. It's pretty fucking awesome. This is a Super Bowl winning defense. This is a defense that can win a Super Bowl for you. Now it's on the offense to really step up and figure their shit out. Because this team, if they even figure out a morsel of things, they can cruise their way to being back-to-back champions. I truly believe that in my heart of hearts. It's so possible. It's wide open for this team. With all the tiebreakers they have, they are more than they're all but locked in to potentially being the number 1 seed in the NFC. A lot will come into play with the Seahawks and the 49ers and how the NFC West shakes out. But you have tiebreakers over the Rams, the Bucks, Lions, Packers. You have a game in hand against the Cowboys. You have the tiebreaker over the Vikings. You still have to play the Bears. But it's right there. And we all know what happens when things go through the link in the playoffs. If this offense can get things going down the stretch here, looking at the schedule, you go to Dallas next Sunday. Then short week, Black Friday against the Bears at the link. Then you go to the Chargers on Monday Night Football. Then you're home against the Raiders. Then you are at Commanders, at Bills, home to the Commanders. All very winnable games. I think the Chargers are frauds. The Raiders stink. Commanders are cooked. You have them twice. The Bills have shown signs of fraudulence. The Cowboys stink. And the Bears are probably your most formidable opponent, believe it or not, simply because they are talented and it's an NFC game. Where the Bills, it's an AFC matchup, so it's not as pivotal. But you look at the rest of the schedule with 7 games to go here, you're sitting at the top of the NFC at 8-2 with 7 games to go. Right? Did I do that math right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. 7 more games. You're 8-2. Who's to say this team can't go 15-2? Who's to say they can't go 14-3? A lot of people thought this was an 11-win football team. And while they're not playing up to snuff that we think they can play to, they are 8-2. They are 3 games clear, or however in the loss column at least, 3 games clear of the Cowboys, 5 games clear of them in the win column, 6 games clear of the Commanders. This is a championship caliber football team, guys. And we're witnessing some really special stuff going on. And that's why A.J. Brown is saying what he said. Because he knows what this team is capable of. He knows that they have the ability to go and win another Super Bowl this year. He knows that they can win more Super Bowls after this year. But it all starts with getting this offense rocking and rolling to some degree where they're putting up points. And if they can do that, sky's the limit. Sky is the limit. But yeah, great win for the Birds. The defense was spectacular. I can't wait. I really want to go back and watch this game and just watch the defense. There's very few games where I feel like that's like able to be done. This is a game where like I will sit and just foam at the mouth at this defensive performance. They were fantastic. And you're going to have everyone on the national shows bitching and moaning about this game. Fuck them. I want updates from Cam Newton. I want updates from the Detroit Pistons. I want updates from that Brian Branch fan account. I want updates from everyone that was trying to talk all that smack all week that the Lions were going to take down the Eagles, that they were going to come into the link and humble us, this, that, and the third. I'm waiting. Did they humble us? Did the Lions get next? Detroit Pistons admin? I don't think so. I kept all the receipts. I got Cam Newton on my receipt. I got the Pistons official account on my receipt. I got the Brian Branch fan account on my receipt. Who else I got to look up? I kept them motherfucking receipts. Corny. I kept the Amon-Ra St. Brown receipt from February. What an absolute loser. I kept them. Because I knew that this Eagles team was capable of beating the Lions because the Lions always beat themselves. But guess what? They didn't beat themselves this time. This Eagles defense went belt to ass. And that's why the Eagles are 8-2. Sometimes your offense wins you games. Sometimes your defense wins you games. And sometimes your special teams win you games. Sometimes all three phases win it. Tonight was the defense, and the defense deserves their flowers across the board. Full unit win for the defense, and Vic Fangio should be proud of the boys. Defensive masterclass, man. What an awesome performance from this team. What an awesome performance from the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's go around the NFL. Weird week in the NFL. Just one of those weeks. And, I talked about it on the episode because I had to record later in the week because shout out Xfinity for having my internet all types of goof trooped out. The Patriots beating the Jets on Thursday Night Football happened, 27-14. The Dolphins in overtime in Spain, España, take down the Commanders 16-13. What fully went down? I know Jane Daniels didn't play, but good grief. Good grief. What an ugly game in España. The Packers hold on to beat the Giants 27-20. The Texans outlast the Titans 16-13. The Panthers, the Frisky Cats alive, 30-27. They sweep the Falcons. Michael Penix left that game with a knee injury. Kirk Coupons came in, and the Falcons lose 30-27. The Bears hold on to beat the Vikings. Walk-off field goal from Cairo Santos, 19-17. The Jaguars absolutely zapped the Chargers, 35-6. Absolute zap fest. Chargers are frauds. They've always been frauds. They're 7-4. They're mediocre. With their offensive line being as injured as it is, they're not good, and the Eagles should be able to beat them in a couple weeks. The Bills outlast the Buccaneers. It's a huge win in terms of the NFC playoff picture. 44-32, they beat the Bucs up in Buffalo. The Steelers steamroll the Bengals 34-12. Aaron Rodgers' alleged broken wrist. Yikes. The 49ers decimate the Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett set a new NFL record for completions in a game with 47. 47 for 57, my boy went. And why do I say my boy? Because Jacoby Brissett and I have had an interaction in life. When Jacoby was with the New England Patriots, I was wearing my Super Bowl 52 champions hat during a PLL weekend at Gillette Stadium. As I was walking to a press conference, the Patriots were coming back from practice, and it's all in the same building. And this was happening on Labor Day, so they're getting ready for the season. And Jacoby Brissett sees me, says, "The Eagles? Come on, man. Come on, Jacoby. You weren't even on that Patriots team." But nonetheless, Jacoby Brissett and I have had a conversation, to which I dropped to him, "Go Birds." But shout out to Jacoby Brissett, man. He's a grinder. 47 completions, and they still lost by almost 20. The Rams hold on to beat the Seahawks 21-19. The Rams jerseys were heinous. Those midnight mode jerseys for their rivalry uniforms are despicable. It's very difficult to fuck up a blackout uniform, and the Rams fucked up a blackout uniform. It's so terrible. The Broncos take down the Chiefs 22-19. The Chiefs are 5-5. Super Bowl hangover. How you doing? The Ravens hold on to beat the Browns 23-16 in Cleveland. And then, of course, bang, bang, bird gang, go Birds. Eagles win 16-9 over the Lions. And then Monday Night Football is in Vegas. Cowboys at the Raiders. Can the Raiders perform a miracle? Find out more at 8:15 p.m. on Monday night on ESPN. Crazy week in the NFL. Looking at the standings. In the AFC, the Patriots 9-2. Bills are 7-3. Dolphins are 4-7. Jets are 2-8. Steelers 6-4, leading the AFC North. Still the Ravens, though, 5 in a row. Or 4 in a row. They're on a crazy win streak. 5-5. The Bengals are 3-7. The Browns are 2-8. The Colts are 8-2. They were on a bye this week. The Jaguars 6-4, climbing back, trying to stay alive in that division. Texans are 5-5. Titans are 1-9, dead in the water. The Broncos are 9-2. The Chargers are 7-4. The Chiefs are 5-5. The Raiders are 2-7. And then in the NFC, the Eagles are 8-2. Cowboys 3-5-1. Commanders are 3-8. Giants are 2-9. Bears are 7-3. The Packers are 6-3-1. The Lions are 6-4 and no longer in a playoff spot. The Vikings are 4-6. The Buccaneers are 6-4. The Panthers are 6-5, staring down that division. That'd be kind of wild. The Falcons are 3-7. They are dead to rights. The Saints are 2-8. The Rams are 8-2. The Seahawks are 7-3. 49ers are 7-4, and the Cardinals are 3-7. And that's your Around the NFL for Week 11 here, brought to you by Paramount Plus. Guys, there's no better way to stream the NFL than on Paramount Plus. You don't have to worry about outages. You don't have to worry about contracts or anything like that. Stream your local games on Paramount Plus. Check your local listings, obviously, but it's the easiest way to watch the NFL all season long. Plus their back catalog of so many of your favorite shows, from Nickelodeon to Survivor and so much more. Use the link in the description to sign up for Paramount Plus. And if you are a student, from now until the end of the year, if you use our link to sign up, you get 50% off any Paramount Plus plan. So use our link in the description to sign up for Paramount Plus today. Don't miss a single second of NFL action. And if you're a student, you'll get 50% off any Paramount Plus plan to watch the stretch run here of this NFL season now through the end of the year. So use that link in the description. Sign up for Paramount Plus today and don't miss a single second of NFL action here this season with our friends at Paramount Plus. Shout out to Paramount Plus for being a partner of the podcast. Let's switch from the gridiron, though, to the lacrosse floor. We've got an awesome interview here for you guys. BrennanONeill and Dalton Young of the Philadelphia Wings. Very fun sit down with those two. Brennan is one of the most talented athletes in this city, hands down. And I don't use that lightly. He is just an absolute demon with a lacrosse stick. Dalton Young is going to be a fan favorite this year, and I'm so excited for Philadelphia Wings season to be right around the corner, less than a month away from the season kicking off. And great insight from those guys, as they head into their sophomore seasons, both of them. They're conjoined at the hip. They play for the Denver Outlaws in the PLL together. They just went to a championship game this summer. Unfortunately, fell short in that game, but nonetheless, they're two of the most talented players in the sport right now, and they're both on this Philadelphia Wings team looking to make a lot of noise this NLL season. And our interviews here brought to you by our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Guys, you want to stand out in the crowd, whether you're going to a Wings game, going to a Birds game, Sixers, Flyers, Union, or gearing up for spring training in the Phils, PHI Apparel Company's got you covered. You can rep your favorite Philly sports podcast as well with official Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast merch. Use the link in the description to stand out in the crowd, or go to phiapparel.co. And when you go to checkout, use code Underground to get 10% off your next merch order from PHI Apparel Company. Again, that's 10% off with code Underground at phiapparel.co, and stand out in the crowd with the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's kick it to our kick-ass sit-down conversation, interview, whatever you want to call it, with Philadelphia Wings superstars BrennanONeill and Dalton Young, with myself at Philadelphia Wings Media Day.
The Vineland Municipal Utilities is committed to helping your business succeed. As a community-owned utility, our focus is on service, not profit. From site planning to powering your operations, we can help you achieve your strategic goals. Whether it's a customized cost analysis of your usage needs, engineering support to ensure a smooth interconnection, or offering lower rates than neighboring utilities, we want to be your partner in creating an environment for long-term success. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
All right, everybody, we're here at Philadelphia Wings Media Day 2025, and we are joined by Dalton Young and BrennanONeill. Boys, good to see you. How was the off-season and just preparation? Obviously, both playing in the PLL, but gearing up for the box game again. And, you two, I feel like, are conjoined at the hip now when it comes to lacrosse, just playing with each other year-round. But what's the excitement level coming into another season?
Yeah, definitely extremely high. I think we're both ecstatic to be back in Philly and get the season started. Definitely took a few weeks off after the summer, after the PLL season, but spending the last month or two kind of getting back in shape, getting the indoor style of play back under us, and just getting ready for these next few weeks of training camp leading up to Game 1.
Yeah, for sure. It was a quick turnaround. Felt like we were just playing in the NLL. April didn't feel like too long ago, but then going right into the summer season. But it helps you, keeps you in shape. So you don't really have to work too much on that part. It's just seamless, and we're looking to just hit the ground running and start off hot, and that's our main goal, is just set the tone early and have a great start to the season.
Dalton, what are you most looking forward to this year? Obviously, last year you make your debut late in the season and kind of just burst onto the scene. You were able to kind of find your stride in those two games that you were able to, make a lot of noise in. What are you looking forward to, having a full season ahead of you now, and some things that you picked up in those two games, and, being able to contribute, full time this season?
Yeah, I think definitely carrying in the kind of underdog mindset and not really expecting anything, and just kind of but going out in these next few weeks and really trying to earn and solidify my spot and establishing myself, and just kind of taking it game by game, and not I think last year was a great experience and learning lesson of just waiting your turn and still going to every game and watching and just trying to learn, and really ready to kind of throw myself out there and get things going, and hopefully have a full season under my belt.
Brennan, you get to see Dalton up close and personal pretty much year-round, between the PLL and the NLL season now. What's something or some things that, a lot of fans or, other people wouldn't really know about Dalton's game that makes him the player that he is?
Yeah, I think he has a great mixture of, a grittiness to him, but also finesse, where he can be creative, he can play off ball. but also be a Dodger when he needs to be. So he's kind of like a jack of all trades, where he really does what you need him to do in that moment. Especially in the box game, he's got a big frame. He can set really good hard picks, but he's also got good feet and can get to the net when he needs to. So I think it's just he's very versatile, and it's just kind of hard to game plan for that type of player who can do many things very well. So I think that's something that you can expect is just a great solid off-ball player who can handle a lot, who has a great hand-eye when it comes to in tight spaces, handling balls and then finishing with pressure. So I think there's a lot of great things that you can look out for when you watch him.
I know you said April kind of like flew by for you, but when you look back at your rookie season, Brennan, and everything that you were able to kind of accomplish and, learn about the box game, playing it full time, for the first time, what are some things you took away when you were able to kind of sit back and reflect on your rookie year?
Yeah, there's a lot of things, I think it was definitely a great learning experience. I think the main thing that I really took out of it was preparation is everything. I'm going to definitely, kind of pick my spots where I shoot a little more wisely. And, I think shooting more is a good idea for me. There's a lot of different, scenarios where I thought I could have shot it more at different moments, but it's just about feeling your way through, and you're a young buck who's a rookie just trying to find his way. So you might not want to, assert yourself as much as you would in your second year and being more comfortable. So I think there's a few things I took out of it, and just trying to improve every step of the way.
And, from a coaching perspective, obviously you and Rubes come in together, his first year as a head coach, and you as a rookie, and Dalton, your rookie season last year too. What are some things that, you may not have known going into, your box season last year that, Coach Rubel told you guys about, or you were able to take away from his coaching style that made your game better?
I think a lot of it was just overall the flow and movement of an offense. Just, timing of it, and how when you pick your spots to set a pick, and when you roll, it's all about timing and execution, and sometimes as a younging who hasn't played too much box lacrosse, you kind of, miss a beat and kind of are slow to make a decision. But a lot of it really does come down to timing and repetition, where in the game it's just seamless, and plays just work because you're where you need to be in that moment. So I think a lot of it was just, spots to be in, different movements, and making the offense make sense,
And Dalton, for you, what do you think the box game has done for your overall game, and what has it taught you about, just, picking spots and being able to use your frame more, and, what are some things that you learned, last year going through a full box season that has improved your game a lot?
Yeah, for me personally, I think if anybody watched my first year in the PLL versus the second year, just scoring more goals on the inside, kind of finding my spots, just that from a timing, spacing perspective, I just felt so much more comfortable, and just little nuances that you wouldn't notice or you wouldn't see from watching a game, but whether it's pushing a guy in the back or touching him on the right side of his body, him looking over, and then I'm cutting on the left, just little things that I learned here. And obviously shooting on a much smaller goal and going out there and having 6x6 to look at, it's very appeasing to the eye. So was definitely a great experience from a scoring, shooting, and just spacing perspective.
Brennan, last year here at Media Day, we were talking about you being able to play in Philadelphia, and Dalton, you can attest to this too, now having been here. You see the Eagles win the Super Bowl last year. Obviously, the Philadelphia Union are in the playoffs right now. You see the Phillies, consistently be going on runs. What does it mean to play in just a sports, rabid city like Philadelphia, and have those fans behind you, and just the environment that Philadelphia sports kind of embodies?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. There's certain markets are just boring and not as fun to be around when it comes to fan bases. So when you get a place like Philly, even though they're intense and that's just passion and because they want you to win, you'd rather it that way than them not caring at all. So I really did love the getting to know the fans on the personal level. I got to meet some over the season, and just their passion and their support too. Just the way they would support us after a tough loss, or and the way they would celebrate a good win. It's really cool having that type of support, and it really helps motivate you to want to keep going and win for the city.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think Philly's a very, very special place for a lot of reasons, but especially for their sports. And I think it's just an honor to represent, in my opinion, the best sports city in the world, and just kind of the history of franchises, players. And I think one thing that's, for me specifically, that stands out with a lot of Philly players is just the passion and emotion that they play with. I mentioned this earlier, but a guy like Brian Dawkins, just the way coming out of the tunnel, you can just tell it's like this means the absolute world to him, and I think that portrays into a lot of fans as well. So hopefully we can sell out some arenas and get some great environments and win a lot of games this year, because I think we got a great team. I think we got a lot of hungry players, so I think we're looking really good.
Some new players that are going to be in the locker room with you guys this year. Eric Fennell obviously signs in free agency. Chris Corbeil coming in to kind of be an anchor of that defense. And then some returning faces too. You have Phil Caputo coming back. You have Joe Resetaritz coming back. Just talk to me about the excitement level of when you see, players choose to come to Philly in, free agency, and seeing guys like Joe and Phil choose to come back and wanting to be a part of, this process that you guys are putting together to inevitably, go on a run and hopefully at the end of the day hoisting up that trophy.
Yeah, that's a statement when you have guys who choose to be back. They could have signed somewhere else, but instead they want to finish what they started. I think that you can really get behind that as a team. They're all awesome guys, and I'm so glad that they're back. And like any league, every year teams change, so we do have new faces, and I'm looking forward to getting to know them more and more. Already met Eric, and he seems awesome. Can't wait to start developing some chemistry with him. And at the end of the day, it's all you want from new guys coming in and guys coming back is just buy into what the coaches preach, and just come every day ready to work and with a chip on your shoulder.
No, yeah, definitely. I think we, especially last year for us, kind of first getting into the box environment, trying to learn the game and everything about it, those guys really, from day one, were lending hand and just kind of teaching us all the little things that we learn, and especially throughout the year, and just having the relationship that we have with them now. Super excited. And one thing I think the whole group just really meshes real great together, and the ability for us to have the vets that we do, but also some of the younger guys, and there kind of be no differences or there's no roadblocks, even with the age gap. And I think that's special, and I think that's what makes this group so fun to be around.
And as we sit here just a little over a month away from, the home opener on December 13th, what's, the excitement level of, preparing to run back out, in front of those crazy fans and, running out of that tunnel and preparing for game day here at Xfinity Mobile Arena?
Yeah, ecstatic. I think that's the word to describe it. I can't wait. It's going to be a long month, but have a few scrimmages, some training camp weekends lined up, so excited just to get after it and work towards that first game.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotions in the first game, so much juice is flowing, excitement, nerves, and just, it's been a while since you went against someone with a different color jersey. So I think after this month of training camp, we're going to be really, itching to play someone else. And it's really cool to be at home for your first game. Last year it wasn't, so that'll be really awesome, and I can't wait.
Boys, I'm looking forward to the season, looking forward to seeing you guys out there, ripping shots and scoring goals for a crazy, fun fan base that we have here in Philly. Best of luck this season, and hopefully see you at the home opener.
Awesome.
Thank you
there.
for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Big shout out to BrennanONeill, Dalton Young, and the Philadelphia Wings organization for having me and CFO Margie and so many other creators out at Wings Media Day and having Brennan and Dalton on the show. Those guys, thank you for sitting down with us. It was a ton of fun to chop it up with them. I'm looking forward to the home opener. We got some big things coming with the home opener pretty soon that you're going to keep your eyes and ears peeled for. December 13th at Xfinity Mobile Arena. I'm very pumped for the home opener. A little Sixers news here. Kelly Oubre Jr., our good pal, Aaron Grugan, brought this onto my timeline tonight because I definitely missed it with the Pistons game on Friday. Kelly Oubre left the game with a left knee hyperextension. But then the Sixers say Oubre injured the LCL in his left knee, his lateral collateral ligament. No timetable yet, but he has been ruled out for Monday's game against the Clippers. That, to me, is significant simply because Kelly Oubre has been a vital part of this team to start the season. He has been somebody that has been a spark for this team, and they really will miss his presence in the lineup. That's for damn sure. I know it's one of those things that, you know, you don't really take it into account all that much, but his presence will be missed on the court against the Clippers. And I know the Clippers are not off to the hottest start this season. When you look at just the NBA standings overall, the Clippers out in the West, they are 4-9. So they're a beatable team. But when you don't have somebody like Kelly Oubre and his ability to kind of stretch the floor a little bit and hit from three and drive to the rack, like, his presence will be missed, and it makes the bench that much, like, less deep than it could be. And, you know, you don't have that many wings that do what Kelly Oubre does. And I'm going to be intrigued to see what Nick Nurse does to fill that void. Luckily, you're playing a bit of a lesser opponent, a beatable opponent on Monday, so we'll see what happens. But it's a bummer that Kelly is going to be out because they are certainly going to miss his presence in the lineup and on the floor and on the bench. So, well, he'll probably be on the bench, but who knows? But it sucks that he's going to miss time, and we don't really know how long. I'll talk to the official injury expert, OG, tomorrow and see what he thinks with Kelly Oubre and the LCL and it being a knee injury for a basketball player and just the running up and down the court aspect, the jumping aspect, and you know, trying to get that elevated height and everything. But we'll see. It's a brutal loss for the Sixers there as they are looking to rebound after a winnable game against the Pistons in NBA Cup play as they sit at 7-5. Just a game back of the Knicks and the Cavs and the Hawks for one of those top 4 seeds in the East right now. Still way too fucking early to be talking about seeding in the NBA, but nonetheless, want to see the Sixers succeed, and best wishes to Kelly Oubre Jr. as he heals up, and hopefully will be back on the court sooner rather than later. And ladies and gentlemen, before I dive into my next topic, I want to talk to you guys about our awesome pals over at Biñho. Guys, Biñho, 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 and Biñho is its name. Oh, it's the next big tabletop game for your man cave, your tailgate, your parties, your she sheds, whatever it may be. You break out the Biñho board, you are going to be the talk of your event. It's paper football meets foosball for the next big tabletop flicking experience. Use our link in the description to shop with Biñho. Get your officially licensed Philadelphia Union boards. Get your officially licensed Premier League boards. Any MLS team you want, they've got them. Plus, their OG original boards are spectacular. We've got 3 of them down here. I got to break out a Biñho board. It's been too long since I've played, but I absolutely love Biñho. They are truly the best. Use our link in the description so Biñho knows you're coming from us. And then when you go to check out, use code BiñhoBennett62, and you'll get 10% off your next order from our friends at Biñho. Again, use the links so they know that you're coming from us. It's linked in the description. When you go to check out, use code BiñhoBennett62, and you get 10% off your next order from our friends at Biñho. Shout out to Biñho for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Philadelphia Union playoff week, everybody. Doop, 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 doop. I'm pumped. The Union are back Sunday night down at the Sub. It's going to be an absolute party, okay? The Philadelphia Union are going to be putting on a show for the people down at the Sub. And it's a hot ticket. It's a hot ticket. 2 tickets, $101 a ticket, okay? 1 ticket, $88 to get in the building. Not too shabby, not too shabby. You can still get in the building for a pretty quality price for a one-and-done playoff game at home against a big-time rival in NYCFC. This is going to be a huge game. I'm working to get Jimmy King on the show for Thursday's episode, along with Aaron Grugan and hopefully Seamus. Hopefully have a loaded roster. Hopefully have Harrison back on the show. But I'm working to get Jimmy King on so he can kind of break down the ins and outs of everything for me, what we should really be looking for from this game, and give you more than just a casual perspective on the Union's playoff game. But I'm pumped. Like, I'm going to have this game on Sunday after the Birds fucking go belt to ass over the Cowboys. Sunday night viewing pleasure, because what is the Sunday night football game next week? What is the Sunday night football game next week other than the Philadelphia Union? Rams Bucks? I don't need to be watching no Rams and Bucks. It's like, that's going to be a pretty kick-ass game. We're going to be going double screen for that one, I'll tell you that. But no, like, Union game is going to be kick-ass. The stadium is going to be buzzing. And if you're going to Subaru Park for the game, I want to hear from you. Whether it's pregame, during the week, before the game in the stadium, during the game at the stadium, after the game, I want to hear from Union fans this week. Leave me a voicemail, speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. I want to hear your thoughts on the game, your excitement level for the game, your expectations for the game, anything you want. I want to hear from you guys. You'll be featured on the show. We'll listen to the voicemails live. Speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. Union fans, I want to hear from you. Let's go, Union. Doop, 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 doop. I got my scarf here, my cheesesteak scarf. Let's go. Let's ride. This thing's a beauty. I still have the tag on it because it's that gorgeous. But I'm ready to go. Let's go. Let's go, Union. That's all I got for you guys on this one. Thanks for tuning in. It's always a pleasure doing Victory Monday episodes. It's always a pleasure just recording this show. You guys make it absolutely incredible. As we sit here in November and we're approaching episode 800, we're 5 episodes away. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But yeah, I appreciate the hell out of you guys. You're the absolute best. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. Means the world when you guys follow us. We love interacting with you guys. So keep following us on the socials. Subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow and helps us continue to reach new heights and allows us to get one step closer to making this our full-time gig. So keep subscribing on Apple and Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. And of course, guys, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. Click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And as you all know, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And guys, hear me out. The Garden State Comic Fest came to the city of Vineland this week. It was an absolute doozy of a time. Shout out to everybody that made that possible and bringing such an awesome event to the city of Vineland. And, you know, we're hoping that we get more stuff like that, because we want to see the city of Vineland, continue to thrive. It's my hometown. It's where we want to see things just continue to thrive here. And when we have events like the Garden State Comic Fest coming through, we have more events coming to, the new Vineland Convention Center. It's going to be a really, really cool time here in the city of Vineland with so many things heading our way. And just super proud of the city, super proud of, the people who make it happen, and we're super thankful to have the city of Vineland supporting this podcast. So big thank you to the city of Vineland. Big shout out to the Garden State Comic Fest, and shout out to the new Vineland Convention Center, being a part of the ever-growing infrastructure here in the city of Vineland, because Vineland, New Jersey, it's always growing season, baby. And also, big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, for their continued support of this podcast. Thank you to all of you for tuning in to another Victory Monday edition of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Big shout out to BrennanONeill and Dalton Young as well for hopping on the show from Media Day. But this has been episode number 795 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, an Eagles Victory Monday edition of the podcast. I'm your boy KB. I'll talk to you guys on Thursday. We'll talk Eagles Cowboys. It's the most diabolical week because it's at Dallas and we're wearing the Kelly greens on the road. We'll talk some Sixers. We'll talk some Flyers. We'll talk some Union. We'll talk whatever the hell we want to talk about, because that's what this show is. We do what we want, okay? But it's Bang Bang Bird Gang. Go Birds, dickhead. Episode number 795 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. I'll catch you guys on Thursday. Stay tuned for who's going to be on the show. But until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here, and I'm signing off. Peace. Go Birds!